Have you ever had to call 911 before? If you have, then you understand the importance of having the peace of mind that a firefighter will show up at a moment's notice to help you with your situation or emergency. Around the world right now, I can promise you, on military installations, that there are firefighters either sleeping, training, working out, or just plain goofing off. But when that bell rings, that they'll hop on their truck and they'll come to your rescue as fast as they can. Today I'm going to talk to you about hazard duty pay. It's a pay that the military gives out to individuals based off the danger of their job, basically. I'm going to tell you today that firefighters don't receive it. They've been fighting for 4 years to receive it, and they've hit a few roadblocks along the way, but they're not going to give up the fight. They're going to continue to try and receive this pay. Today I'm going to talk to you about the definition of hazard duty pay and how it relates to firefighters. I'm also going to tell you about other jobs in the military that are currently receiving this hazard duty pay. And then finally, I'm going to finish up by telling you how essential it is to have a firefighter supporting your mission if you're a military commander. To start off with, a gentleman by the name of Rod Powers defines hazard duty pay on www.about.com as follows. Hazard duty pay is given to military members who perform duties which are considered dangerous due to the nature of the job, are entitled to monthly hazardous duty incentive pay. End quote. Now, from an outside perspective, or as a military perspective, it doesn't matter. You're looking at this, and that could be almost any member in the military, and I understand that. Because we're all willing to put our lives on the line for the greater good of the country. But as a firefighter, on a day-to-day basis, our job, if broken down, is fire crash rescue. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be responding to any fire you have. We're going to be putting our lives at risk to put out your house fire, car fire, or whatever, and make sure you're safe. We're also going to be protecting the assets on the base, to include aircraft, lives, property. So, looking at that, hazard duty pay is about $150 a month, which really doesn't seem like that much, if you ask me. Another thing to think about is that when a firefighter is deployed, he actually receives a hazardous duty pay. As a personal experience, as a member of the United States Air Force and a firefighter for 8 years, in my experience of being deployed, we're essentially doing the same job we're doing at our stateside base as we are doing overseas. So, we're performing the same duties stateside and away from our families. But being away from our families, doing the same exact job, we're receiving this extra money. Which I'm not complaining about because it always helps a paycheck out. But, if we're doing the same duties just in a different location, then for me, it just makes sense to either give it to us full-time or not give it to us at all. Now that I've told you about hazard duty pay, how much it is, and when firefighters receive it in the military, I'd like to tell you about other jobs in the military that currently receive hazard duty pay. All these jobs are dangerous, of course. The first being explosive ordnance disposal. These are the bomb squad. These are the guys you call in when you have a suspicious package or, you have a confirmed bomb that you need to get moved out of the way or just disposed of. And trust me, if you were to ask me if I thought these people were valid enough to receive this pay, I would raise my hand and definitely vote yes. Another job is toxic fuels. Anybody who handles toxic fuels on a high level in the military is, of course, putting their lives at risk due to the fact that, chemicals, they're unpredictable. Due to weather, packaging, or just the instability of these chemicals, anybody who handles toxic fuels receives hazard duty pay. They have my vote as well. In the Navy, anybody performing flight deck duty receives it. Those are on the aircraft carrier on the top where they're launching and receiving aircraft. Those guys are constantly, have to keep their heads on a swivel, a lot of moving parts, and they also have my vote because of the risk they put into their job. Also, anybody in the military who is on parachute duty receives hazard duty pay. And I don't even need to go into that really, I don't believe, because I think we all know that anybody who jumps out of an airplane for a living is putting their lives at risk. So those are the other jobs in the military that are currently receiving hazard duty pay. Now I'd like to tell you how essential it is, if you don't already know, to have a firefighter for each mission, and how our role plays a vital part in each mission. Firefighters, we cover all the base. What we do is we have a mantra that we live by. It's fire, crash, rescue. Now, what does this mean to you? I'll break it down. Fire, that's obviously what it is. It could be a car wreck, it could be a house fire, it could be an aircraft fire. We're trained to respond in our vehicles and use the equipment that we have to put out that fire. First off is life safety. We're going to make sure anybody who's in or around that fire is taken care of first. Secondly, of course, we have to conserve property. And lastly, we have to stabilize the incident. So whatever fire it may be, we're going to respond and we're going to take care of it. For the crash portion, that pretty much makes up all of the flight line. Anything that has to do with aircraft. You know, whether it be a pilot ejecting out of his aircraft, or a fuel leak on the flight line, or anything that is going on the flight line that has to do with barriers, we're going to respond to that, and we're going to make sure that we're taking the load off of everybody else. We're ensuring the safety of these folks, and of course the property of all the military branches. Lastly, of course, we also respond to medical calls. Okay, majority of military members who are firefighters right now are certified at the National Registry level as emergency medical technicians, basic. So what that means is that we can get you to the hospital, we can get you the care that you need, and whether it be an infant, military member, dependent, senior, we run the gamut. We have training to take care of everybody. So pretty much having extra medics out in the field as firefighters should put everybody's mind at ease a little bit when they're out there. So based off those things, the firefighters actually give to each mission, I think we're an essential part. And based off the scenarios that we put ourselves in to protect aircraft, lives, property, I truly believe that military firefighters should receive the hazard duty pay. So today, what did I talk to you about? In closing, I talked to you about the definition of hazard duty pay. I talked to you about who receives hazard duty pay in the military. And I talked to you about how essential it was to have a firefighter for every mission in the military. So, after hearing what I have to say, I didn't tell you this so that you can make a difference. Because basically, it's up to Congress right now. It's been up there a few times and they've denied it. But at least, after talking or listening to me talk today, you're going to understand what we're doing, what our mission is, and what we're trying to achieve. And, I hope you sleep better at night if you are anywhere near or on a military installation, knowing that a firefighter is going to be there for you, whether you need them or not. So thank you very much.